Welcome to NHL Hockey News Reports, and yes, today we have a video and we're talking about the season preview for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And yes, this is a team I like to talk about, and let's get into it. So, first of all, they have no cap space right now, but let's start on this side here because this side talks more about the 17-18 stats, 18-19 stats, really just talk about the previous years and kind of compare it, what they could be doing in 19 to 2020 season. So, 17-18 stats for 47, 29, and 6 with 100 points. That's pretty good, you know what I mean? Definitely, you're definitely going to make the playoffs with 100 points. There is no doubt unless you really have a really good division, like really, really good. But, usually, 100 points, most likely, definitely, you make the playoffs with 100 points. 90, 95, you don't. But potentially you could if your division is weak or not, or your conference. But 100 points, really good, definitely. And that was in the 17-18 Washington second round, Game 6, 4-2, lost, boom, in OT with Kuznetsov scoring that goal. And that's the first time the Caps ever move on with that team. Well, of course, it went to the final once a while back, and then Caps won the Stanley Cup that year. So we know what happened there. But 18-19 stats, 44, 26, and 12, 100 points. Same way how they scored, they won. But less wins, more OTs, less losses. More wins, more losses, less OTs. So it's really cool. But it all adds up to 100. It's really weird, but it's awesome. It's weird that you have more wins here, but more OT losses here, but less OT here, and everything amounts to 100 points these two seasons. It's really weird, but it's interesting to look at, right? So, 18-19, they play in the first round. The Islanders, they get swept. I didn't think they were gonna be swept. I said, Pittsburgh, I think they're gonna win, and then I'm like, really? Wow, swept by what the Islanders did. This whole playoff bracket, the 18-19 stats, this season just was like, really? That's weird. Like, literally, every single team, literally. Tampa, not winning. All these teams, literally. Hurricanes, really? I thought they would lose against the Washington Capitals. It's like, what? Blues win Stanley Cup? What? So that's what I mean. But looking at the ones who left this year, on the 18-19 the off season this year, Cullen has retired, 41 years old. He was the oldest player, and now it's Zdeno Chara. Dia went to, oh my goodness, where did he go to? I can't remember. He's an AHL player usually, so I can't remember. Maybe it's going to come to me. I know he went to somewhere else. I can't remember. Kessel went to the Coyotes for the Coyotes and Joseph trade. And Garrett Wilson signs with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the new ones are Alex Galchenyuk, Dominic Cahoon, and Tavian. Oh, one more player. You're probably like, why did I not write him down? That is Mata. I'm sorry if I spelled that wrong. I think N or something. I forget. But sorry if I spelled that wrong. Mata was also a player that left for Cahoon. I don't know why. Why did Blackhawks do that? But good for Pittsburgh, right? And then Brendan Tavian here. He signed a $3 million contract for like 3 years or 4 years or something with the Pittsburgh Penguins after being with the Jets. So he went to free agency and signed with the Penguins. Now, let's get into the forwards. Like I said, I will be not doing the contracts and the points anymore. This really does simplify it, so you can really understand how these lines are going to work together and how it's going to go together and mesh really well. So that's what I want to talk about instead of contracts, points. Yeah, it's good, but it doesn't make it as more interesting. Talking about how it meshes well better. So, let's get into it. Forwards, McCann, Crosby, Getzel. This is all from NHL.com, what the lines could look like. Definitely, lines through the years change and differ, and this guy goes up here, this guy's number one, this guy's harder, this one's On the cold streak here, this guy moves down to the third line, this one goes up to the first line, this guy goes to the second line, this guy goes from fourth to third, this guy gets scratched, this guy gets traded, all that stuff, right? But I'm talking about what it could possibly look like projected lineups is McCann. I really do like McCann with Crosby gets, so that's a really good line right there. Losing Kessel, because you lose a guy that puts around 90 points a year, and a guy that actually stays healthy, does not get injured, very rarely. So Kessel, losing him is a big disappointment, but definitely the mood in the locker room would change because Kessel had a whole mood and all that. But Kessel was fantastic. But of course now you got new players, new team, kind of need a new direction because the team couldn't hold Bonino anymore, like what they did in the 16-17 season, the 15-16 season when they had Bonino and all those guys. They couldn't hold those guys anymore. Too expensive. So that's why they had to bring these other guys in. But definitely, that's a great line right there. Crosby, McCann, Getzel, and it's a little bit different, like I said, and not having Kessel on your line is going to be a little awkward, but hey, with Crosby, he can still put around 100 points, definitely. There's no doubt he can. Alright, the next line is Malkin, Galchenyuk, and Hornquist. Hornquist is getting older, he's not putting up as much points as he usually does as a regular player in the NHL. Galchenyuk really hasn't shown that potential, and Galchenyuk's going to learn on that left wing with Malkin, saying, alright, Malkin's going to be like, Galchenyuk, you need to do this, 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 and this. If you don't do this stuff, guess what's happening? Boom, you need to do it because you're going to learn from one of the best centers in the National Hockey League. Alfred Malkin. If you can learn from him, that's pretty good. Galchenyuk needs to learn from him, how to be center to, what he needs to do, but really learn on that left wing, what to do with Malkin, how to play, how to get this second line really generated to be a good scoring line, not just the first line. Definitely. Bukestad, from traded at the deadline, from Panthers to the Penguins. Definitely, Bukestad, it's a little overpaid, definitely, but hopefully he can get him going on that third line with Rust and Cahoon. I like what the Cahoon trade was for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but not definitely for the Blackhawks. Looking at that, Cahoon's a great guy. He can score, he's a youngster, he did absolutely fantastic last year, and I don't know why they gave him up for Mata, but whatever. But Cahoon, absolutely fantastic. I like how he plays, his shot, his play, his skill, ability. With Rust also a little, cold at times of his play, you know what I mean, but definitely a good solid third line than most other teams. And then we have Tavian, Blucher, and Simone. Tavian, of course, signed $3 million. Definitely he'll be good. A little overpaid, I would say. I always like that. A little overpaid, here, because, you want your money for the player, you know what I mean? If you're going to put up this many points, you better be worth it. If you don't, I don't like it. You know what I mean? I definitely don't. If a contract's huge, it's like, oh my goodness, this guy's only putting up this many points and such a big contract. You know what I mean? Like the Louis Eriksson trade, not to go off subject, but I hate those things. It's like, oh my goodness, it's such a big contract, but it's so annoying. Blucher, definitely was from the AHL, from the Wilkes-Barre Penguins there. Definitely Blucher will take on that fourth line. And then have Dominic Simone, hasn't shown his way yet, but I think he will pretty soon. And then you have Zach Aston Reeves. I kind of forgot about him, so I just wrote him down on the left side. If you see right over there, I'm sorry about that, but I wrote it down. But Zach Aston Reeves, this is really good. I like this forward group, and let's talk more about it. Now, to review this forward group, let's get into it. So, I like this line, yes, definitely good line here. Hornquist, Rust, good 1-2 punch here, and these centers right here. Definitely, those two are your number 1, number 2 centers. Definitely, those are not going to become 3 or 4 centers. But these are number 1, number 2 centers. These are definitely your catalyst to this team. To really, if you don't have these two guys, you're not making the playoffs. It's plain and simple. Looking at here, the wingers, McCann, Galchenyuk, Cahoon, Tavian. This is a really good, solid left wing, I gotta say. Pretty solid. Because McCann could play really good with Jamie McCann. McCann can play really well. Galchenyuk, if he can really find his scoring ability that he hasn't done yet, that'll be amazing. With Cahoon and Tavian, that's a pretty good left wing right there. Right wing is a little concern here. With Getzel, of course, that's not a concern. But Hornqvist, Simone, these guys have a little trouble scoring right now. And if they can get something going, of course, Hornqvist has shown that he can score, but it's more like this. If Russ and Simone can score, then they can really need to do something about that. Let's move on to the defense now. Defense, Brian Dumoulin, Letang, that's pretty good number one defense. Of course, can Letang stay healthy during the season, and can he play to his Norris Trophy abilities? That's what we need to know, if he's able to do that. Dumoulin, a good left defenseman, definitely a pretty solid one. Absolutely. Pettersson and Schultz. Pettersson, absolutely fantastic. Schultz is a UFA at the end of the year, I'm pretty sure. But Pettersson, a great young player they got for Daniel Sprong from Anaheim. Definitely a goal scorer for a defenseman. They could really use it, and they really saw great things from Pettersson on his rookie year. With Schultz, a great right defenseman, definitely. He was hurt for most of the year because the whole Thomas Buchanan with that hit. It wasn't on purpose. But he broke his leg for a couple months. He was out. So Schultz is a really good player. If you can miss him for a long time sometimes. If he's out, you miss him pretty much because he's a great defenseman. Looking at Jack Johnson, that's $4 million for him. Literally, like, they're trying to trade this contract out, but just like, in the playoffs, we're like, oh, let's put Jack Johnson in for a second. No, it did not work out. Very much did not work out. Like, literally, what are they going to do with Johnson? What do you do? Jack Johnson, do you just buy him out if no one wants him? Like, literally, that's a tough decision to put out there. And then Gabranson. I really like Gabranson. They picked him up from Vancouver on the trade deadline, definitely. Can't remember, what did they give back? Oh, man, how can I not know this? I don't remember right now. They'll come to me. And then you have Yusuf Rico, a great rookie last year. With Trotman, a guy that hasn't shown the best, but is trying to show that he can prove to stay in the NHL. And they have Chad Rude-Riedel. Those are depth guys, these two guys. But Gabranson looked pretty good. I do like him. $4 million, but it's worth more than Johnson, literally. It's a better contract than Johnson. Well, both of them on the same contracts, but Gabranson doing a better job with it, isn't he? And the goalies. Oh wait, before I go to the goalies, I like to review the defense here. I really do like this. I do like this defense pairing here. That defense pairing right there, I think, is pretty good. It's a pretty good top 4 defense right there, definitely. When it hits here, Gabranson, definitely, I do trust on this one. Johnson, I don't. I would scratch him, put in Yusuf Rico instead over Johnson. That's definitely what I would do. Johnson, of course, he has experience, but really, there's been some bad penalties he bought, and you don't want that during the game. And let's go into our goalies now. Goalies, Matt Murray and DeSmith. Murray is a good good goaltender, but it's hard for him to become that number 1 goaltender. He struggles because he used to love to be with Fleury, and it was Fleury and Murray, and it was hard. To be with Fleury and Murray because that was his friend, Fleury, and he kind of went back and forth, kind of split time. And then Murray's like, well, no, I'm the goaltender because Fleury got picked up in the expansion draft, so he had to play his way. DeSmith comes up, as you Joey, and then DeSmith won the job. Joey that did not still, but he's still a good goaltender. Murray, there's many things that happen. He gets injured a lot, Is he really going to be that goaltender you need? That's the question. DeSmith played really well. I do like him as a backup goaltender. Definitely did a really good job. I do like his play. Yes, I do. So, moving on to what do they still need? Cap space, definitely. They kind of have a little room to do something. If you have to do something quick, if you're on a losing streak, if you have an emergency with on the IR or something, if you want to bring someone up because you don't want to, you should have a ability to have a little cap, definitely. Right winger, you know what I mean? Do you have enough on that right wing? That's my question. A little satisfied there a little, but we'll see. And that's what I mean. Replace Kessel on that side because it would be a little bit more depth on that right side, but it's fine. So basically, cap space in our right winger. That's about, I say, no cap. That's also something needs to be looked at. And this team did change a little, kind of like a little of a rebuild. Do you see this team make the playoffs? Yes. Because I think the team's not bad enough to lose the playoffs. Not make the playoffs. I think they still have a team that can get to the playoffs, but how far will they go? That's the question. Definitely, in my opinion, do they get to the second round? Do they win the Stanley Cup again with this team right now? That's many questions we can ask right now, but does this team definitely make the playoffs? To me, I say yes because I don't know. It just, to me, makes the playoffs. I think they're gonna go around 100 points, definitely. Maybe a little less, like 95. Maybe get in that wild card spot, first or second wild card spot, maybe. I think they're gonna start off slow, but then pick it up. That's what I think is gonna happen, like they always do. So thank you for watching. NHL News Report. Like the video, ding the bell, comment, share, and let me comment below what you think all about this. This is a very interesting team to know what's gonna happen. Do they make the playoffs? Do they not? And if you like to, please let me know in the comments below what you think about that. All right. See you next video. Bye.